Були не шахеди, це були ракети.
This is the mayor of Kharkiv, the Ukrainian city close to the border of Russia. For several months, there's been intensifications of shelling of Belgorod, which is located like 30-40 kilometers from Kharkiv. And so Russians were always reporting that Ukrainians were shelling them with the missile system, short range missile system, like which can hit 40 kilometers exactly, which was the analog of Russian Grad system, or also known as Czech system, which is called Vampire. And so there was zero evidence of that for several months, and probably a little bit prior to March, the intensification was like daily shelling of Belgorod, and there's plenty of footage how this missile system shells are just falling from the sky and so on, and people filming their cars hit, the apartment buildings hit, and so plenty of casualties. And no one gives a damn really about that, because once Russians starting to claim that, everybody's saying this is a false flag, it's Russians shelling themselves or Putin shelling himself, and so on. So there was zero evidence until like 2 days before this day that I'm filming this video. And this is a video response to those who think that Russians are shelling themselves. So this video is from Kharkiv. This video is from official media source. And so they are questioning the mayor of Kharkiv on the ground, with his boots on the ground, in the place where supposed Russian shelling occurred. And so they ask him what is the cause of that. And he's saying that this is probably the missile system. The experts are already working on it. They say it's an S or C-300. Well, C-300 is a missile system, but it's a missile system anti-air. So you cannot hit with C-300. It's not efficient. You don't hit the ground targets. You hit the air targets with this. But that's what the mayor says. And look at them. They're looking at this hole in the ground. Yeah, but he's saying like very loud explosion in the night. Look at this mall, by the way. So all this mall is hit by this shelling.
Будинків 3600 вікон орієнтовно вилітало, і зараз наше комунальне підприємство працює, щоб закрити контури. Крім цього, був пошкоджений водогін. Ми вже
look at this.
Зробили, відновили постачання, і електричне постачання, і водопостачання.
Yeah, it was electricity shut down, water shut down.
В ці житлові будинки, тому такі справи. На жаль, маємо сьогодні 6 загиблих.
6 casualties.
11 людей
11 wounded.
Знаходяться у лікарні, стан важкості, середній стан важкості, працюють лікарі з ними.
So basically, the whole video just shows partially the place. Look at this, just partial video, not showing everything. And I was wondering, why is that? Because that was significant. And this is one of the reporters filming on his mobile phone and uploading this video after. And what you can see here is the vampire, well, not the vampire, but this is the system that is similar to Russian tornado system. Look at this. So this is like a simultaneous launch system of the missiles, similar to American HIMARS, but the caliber is less. And we see this hole completely whole, which doesn't include any parts of any Russian or any other rocket inside. Just a big hole. We don't see anyone dead. Just we see this car, probably the truck. We see this system here, which is military system. So basically, the military system of rocket launch system is standing like 50 meters from the mall, which was hit also by the explosion. So basically, this video proves that the mayor of Kharkiv is lying, blatantly lying, just like they were lying in plenty other cases, including Nord Stream, when they were saying that it's all Russia, but the journalists and other experts had their conclusion that is Ukrainian and American involvement in that could be possible, very possible, because plenty of proof of that. So is this. This is one of the examples, just like in the Bucha case when Russians were blamed for raping women, thousands of women and kids and old grannies. But several months after that, the spokesman who was claiming that is true was fired from his job. She was fired from her job because she was could not present any evidence of what she was saying. And so the general attorney of Ukraine also said that we don't have any cases, criminal cases on that, and so on. So uh, I'm not sure why do Ukrainians lie every time something happens. Most of the time, when, for example, they lied about Kramatorsk missile strike, when the ballistics showed that it was launched from their side, and so on. They were lying that they were not shelling Donetsk for 8 years, although there is evidence of that here. For example, that's OSCE, OSCE, and you can find any day and check it out. For example, you will see the increase of shelling each day prior the so-called aggression of Russia in February 22nd. You can see that, for example, 1,075 explosions, 1,149 explosions, 1,100 explosions, uh, 860 explosions, 519 explosions, 188 explosions, 71 explosions. So basically, 15 February, you have only 40 explosions. 16 February, you have 71 explosions. 17 February, again, 188 explosions. 18 February, 519 explosions. So it's increasing. 19 February, 860 explosions. So okay, another one. 21st of February 2022, 1,100 explosions. Okay. 22nd February, 1,149 explosions. And 23rd of February, 1,075 explosions. So it's raised from basically 40 explosions to 1,000 explosions prior to the start of the operation. And if you say that Putin was shelling himself, shelling Donetsk and Lugansk by himself, well, you have to take a look at the maps that they attach. The maps were, for example, if you click here, you you download the full report. You can see this table of ceasefire violations. You understand that the location of these violations were mostly on the territory of Donetsk and Lugansk. So it was an increase from the Ukrainian side. Okay, it was an increase. I'm not saying this organization is totally legit. I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying look at the reports first. Okay, look at the reports first before you blame somebody. Okay, look at the facts, because we are not at the place. We don't have the boots on the ground like this guy here. He has the boots on the ground, and so he is lying to on camera that it was just anti-missile strike, which targeted, you know, zero logic target, outside of anything, not a building, just a square, and so on. So hitting every apartment building, a mall, and so on. Just no logic, right? And when you see this, you understand the logic. But for all these skeptics, Russians also attached a video of destruction of that here. If I find it on this channel, there's plenty of channels, and we can see this. Let me just turn off the sound, because Russian propaganda also likes to use music just like everybody else. So we can see this exact place, this mall here. That's the truck. That's the white truck from the footage that was also burned down. And the second uh, truck here, bigger one, is that system, this rocket system. So what do we see? They're just standing near the mall, and we can see another system arrives, just the same type of system, maybe even larger one. Okay, that's probably vampire system. We don't know. I'm not a military specialist. That's the gas station nearby. That's the mall. And so let's take a look what's happening. So these guys are walking around, so probably doing something from. So this truck is not also accidental there. That's their truck. And we can see what are they planning to do. Probably planning to move to some direction. And there you see the hit. It's it looks ballistic because it's coming from above. So it's probably Russian Iskander system, which was already picturing the hits on the American Patriot systems and so on. So you can see, bam, and it's a pretty big explosion, which probably evaporated one of these systems, rocket systems. That's why you don't see any other remains, because it probably evaporated after this explosion. And all these spare parts are flying is after shell damage, doing this damage. But we don't see any people walking around except these several people who were actually military people. Because why do you use civilian people around military equipment, right? That's no use. That's no logic. So these people were definitely a military serviceman of Ukraine, and therefore it was a legitimate target. So there was plenty of reports Ukrainians using and creating fire points from the buildings, from the neighborhoods, and so on, near the malls, hiding their machinery inside the malls. Plenty of evidence of that. I'm not gonna stop on that. If you really wanna know, you'll find out. There's plenty of evidence, plenty of videos showing that. So I'm not blaming anyone here. I'm just saying the hard truth. Ukrainians, not as a nation, but as a government, as a regime, is a criminal regime. It's a puppet regime, which doesn't play any role in any decision making, except that they can use their population as a human shield, as what Israeli forces actually trying to blame on Gaza forces, saying that they use citizens of Gaza, people of Gaza, as a human shield. But actually, we see Ukrainians using this as a human shield, because when you do it inside of this residential area, close to residential area, is a military crime, by the way. Okay, it's a criminal behavior. So that's just one example. You can go all the way to Nord Stream. You can go all the way to anything that is related to these several years of this conflict, and you find out maybe 90% of evidence showing that Ukrainians are always lying. Yeah, there's sometimes that Russians exaggerate something, and or hyping on something which is not correct. But I didn't see anything like this from the Russian side. When Russians are doing something wrong, way wrong, or being blamed wrong, we don't see any evidence of that, except maybe some fabrications, ugly fabrications of that. So basically, that's how it looks. The truck, small truck, the big system that was standing, and probably the one that arrived, it was standing right here. It was vaporated, completely destroyed after the explosion. Okay, and so this blogger, he's saying that two missile system, Hurricane, and probably the second one was Vampire. Okay, and it's obviously because reported people are saying, yes, Russian drones are flying above Kharkiv. They can monitor the system, and they can target the potential threat, and that's a legitimate target. Okay, this one, next one, is also the same area. Maybe it was like a beginning of March. One of the surprises that Victoria Nuland and other guys were promising Putin in late February, and it happened actually because there was invasion on Russian territory from the so-called Russian opposition militants. I'm not calling their names and so on. Their organizations, they all prohibited in Russia. It doesn't really matter, because even Russian intelligence was reporting that partially these regiments were consisting of Ukrainians and partially from Western volunteer or mercenary type of fighters, which were caught red-handed on the territory of Russia using helicopters, Black Hawk helicopters, the American helicopters, and other devices. I'm not even talking about internet and weaponry systems that were using so-called the system of connection between regiments and so on. It was all American and NATO standard and so on. So, and this video is from one of the cameras of one of these mercenaries, probably from America, because I hear his accent and I think he is American.
Is there anything in there?
Bunker, yeah?
Yeah, we didn't take that. No, the major bunker we didn't.
Okay, заебись. Все, плюс. Okay, химия, like crafting, something like crafting.
Yeah, come here, yeah.
What?
What's the plan? Are we gonna keep pushing with them, or?
This group like previously of convoy.
Yeah.
Okay. So they're just
Yeah.
pushing up in front of the convoy? Okay.
So this guy is probably Ukrainian, and these two guys who are talking are Americans.
Nice. I guess this is all fucking non-combatant on this side, anyways. So, well,
And,
allegedly.
I asked about fifth, about this listen. Puff, puff, puff. Yeah. He told about one Russian is killed. Yeah. Because not our guys, but artillery and our guys only, like control.
So he's saying like one guy was killed by the artillery, and they just finished him. That's why you hear all this piff, 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 puff, 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 meaning somebody was shooting nearby.
Alright.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I'm glad.
So basically, they are in one of the houses on the Russian territory, pretending to be Russian opposition fighters.
That fucking is color coordinated and all the fucking dudes are wearing yellow.
Yeah, I do appreciate that.
I fucking like.
So they were disturbed that some guys were wearing different colors on their ammunition. These tapes presented here are yellow, and so they were appreciating that because they would shoot them, of course.
Like that.
Fuck it.
Fucking. Well, I'm glad that fucking is color coordinated and all the fucking dudes are wearing yellow.
Yeah, I do appreciate that.
I fucking like that.
Fuck it.
Fucking give me a panic attack if they fucking
Blue and
fucking
yellow.
blue or
Yeah. But you see,
Yeah.
our guys.
I love how the way that we showed the differences, like the fucking airsoft and paintball levels of team dedication.
Dude,
All
I'm
right.
just happy we're not out here in fucking jerseys.
So like, hey, we're shirts, your skins.
So for them, it's just like a game, like airsoft, air strike bow, and so on.
No, you can't put a shirt on. That's cheating.
You guys from India?
Stupid question, but did we clear that?
So that's they captured a Russian here. Russian is on the ground. So basically, these are all Ukrainians. You can hear their accent, and this guy is American. He's filming. He's not probably saying anything here. They're planning to give him armor to evacuate him so he can be exchanged.
Есть высокий идти. Что? Улица, 12. Пацаны, если что, улица 12.
And there's a saying, Lon, the commander was shot. Shot in the head.
Все, могу одевать?
So one American commander just died. The commander of their regiment was American. They're saying American is dead. Which one?
Значит, есть снайпер.
Sniper killed him.
Значит, есть снайпер, пацаны. Дуже уважно. Лучше просто тупо з вікон. На вулиці не виходь.
Don't go outside. The sniper working.
Нам передавали ночью, помнишь, Демпель, что снайпер работает? Есть снайпер. Его так и не
Yeah, it's like we were told at night that one sniper was working.
сняли, короче.
And this is how they were evacuating from that, whole basement, I would say. So basically, that's it. That's all how it happened. It's another video from the cameras, helmet cameras.
Yeah, our guys they're kind of spreading out a little bit.
Братаны, свои, в окне свои. Краков, американцы.
So he's asking, like saying, guys, we are on the same side. He's saying, who is in charge? He said, Americans. And he told his name, Krakow, and he's like screaming, guys, Americans are on the right, don't shoot them.
Следующая хата чиста.
He's saying the next house is clear. And this is how they were found.
Вот еще 2 двухсотых. Вот один. Штаны спущены, не знаю, что с ним хотели делать. Вот второй.
Okay, let's go to Google Trends. As you can see, this written in Russian "обстрел," which is shelling, and in English also shelling. Okay, let's try to take a look worldwide. When we see these rays of keywords, basically they repeat shelling in red and shelling in blue, kind of repeat themselves. If you go to web search, you can also find this slight spikes simultaneously with the blue shelling, and so it's February 22, as you can see. Prior to that, I was saying there was increase in shelling, and you can find that on the monetary emission. So basically, what I'm trying to say is that this is what people actually Google for, and what they are Googling for is also spread on different regions. As you can see, most Googling for shelling and обстрел in Russian are Ukraine and Russia, most two countries. Okay, so we go to Ukraine, we'll find out that the most who Google for shelling is Donetsk, Luhansk, and Kharkiv. So it's like if we go to Donetsk, we'll find that what cities are Googling the most for this. And Donetsk is only fourth. Interest for обстрел is this. Interest for shelling is this. So what does it say actually? It says that there are some spikes of interest, and they relate to certain things that were happening in these days. So here is June 2014, and here's February 2022. Okay, but since February 2022, we can see here, for example, past 12 months, we can also see a spike in обстрел, and that's on Russian. That's on Russia. As you can see, Russia is the best, not best, but the most searches. As you can see, Belgorod Oblast is on first place. They have this emerging number of interest to this search term, обстрел. Okay. Even somebody is Googling shelling. And most of these are Valuyki, Shebekina, Belgorod. Shebekina is totally destroyed by Ukrainians. It's on Russian territory. And it happens like from December, late December. I mean, this is supposed to be Christmas, New Year's, and so on. And as you can see, there's a huge increase. Okay? Not only in Belgorod, but in other places too. So what I'm trying to say, this kind of proves that people Google what the fuck is going on, why somebody is trying to shell us. Okay, they don't know what's happening. Most of the people are not living by this, TV station news information. They just work. 80% at least. They don't watch TV. And so they started Googling what the hell's going on. And some people started to flee the Belgrade too. So, I mean, this is what started. And then it's continued to this situation with the false flag operation, where actually Americans and Ukrainians disguised as Russians attacked Russian territory prior to the so-called elections, prior to the so-called, election cycle. Trying to, I don't know, what are they trying? Discredit the current regime, or, just mess stuff up, or kill as much people as they can, or maybe even capture some territory in exchange for further exchange, for further diplomacy, so-called diplomacy talks. But I don't think it's going to be any diplomacy. Okay, there's not going to be any diplomacy here.